Alright, guys, we are NoCo Nomads. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Kodiak.
And we are in St. Louis. So, if you've been following our channel for a while, you know that we try each of the state foods. And for Missouri, that's toasted raviolis. So we're here in St. Louis on the hill, and we're gonna try all the different toasted raviolis that we can.
Yep. The cool part about the toasted raviolis, there's a ton of restaurants that serve them within like 5 minutes to walk all of the different restaurants. So let's try the toasted raviolis and we'll catch back up and rate them and tell you which one you should eat and which one you might want to skip.
Oh, those are really, really good. Yeah, very tasty.
Very crunchy.
Okay, so we just tried Anthonino'S Tavern, and what do we all think?
Well, I really liked how crunchy the raviolis were. I thought that was really good. The meat was, it wasn't chunks of meat. It was more like meat paste, which had a really good flavor I enjoyed, and the marinara sauce was very basil-y. So I give it a good thumbs up, but I'm interested to have something to compare to.
Yep. Meat paste doesn't sound the best. I swear it was actually better than that made it sound.
But it still tasted good.
Right?
And even though nobody asked, I thought it was good as well. The meat paste was odd. I'm really not gonna lie on this one. The crunchiness was delicious, the flavor palette was amazing, but the paste, mixing it with ricotta is a little awkward, but delicious nonetheless.
So let's go try another one.
I'm all for it.
Okay, so we're here at Mama Toscano's. It's just down the street from Anthonino'S Tavern, and we just tried theirs, and they're not as good. The meat in this doesn't seem like it's as high of quality.
Yeah, it just feels like, pan-fried hamburger.
Are you eating a big meatball?
Yeah.
Mama Toscano's, this little corner shop, kind of that hole in the wall where sometimes you just find some amazing stuff. Didn't think we found it here. Outside crust, fried, but more like a batter. Just kind of crunchy with kind of almost the meat in it is not great. So it's something I would expect to find in like a pizza roll or something along that line. So I'm hoping we're gonna find some better ones as we continue along.
Antonio's wins.
Let's try another one and see if the rest are gonna be like this. Okay, so we just did Zaya's Restaurant and Catering, and they had these seafood raviolis, which were off the menu that were suggested to us by our waitress, and they are so good. They were to die for. I'm so happy because I could eat them and not feel sick to my stomach, but also they were just like delicious. So definitely really, really good.
Zia's seafood ravioli, toasted. That sounded really good. Toasted Zia's ravioli. No, it was actually really, really good. I thought they were delicious. I didn't get very many, so I'm still actually hungry and my stomach's growling because Alicia ate them all.
They were very good. Seafood was so tasty.
Yes, they were absolutely delicious and just a little odd. Just like Alicia said, they had butter sauce instead of marinara sauce, and then on top of that, they came out with like lemons, just like regular seafood.
And they were
It was really delicious.
So we just ate at Mama's on the Hill, and it was really good. I think I preferred Anthonino'S better, but I think that the group would disagree with me with the meat ones. So far, I think the favorite is the seafood. However, we stayed a little bit longer here. It's kind of cute and like a house, and we ate some other stuff and drank a little bit of wine to try to slow this down and get something else in our stomachs besides just raviolis.
Definitely the best ambiance of any of the restaurants so far. It was packed at 3:30 in the afternoon, which is odd. I'm glad we drank a glass of wine and kind of slowed things down. But I think we're definitely gonna be slowing down on the next plates of ravioli. But yeah, little crunchy, fried, decent. I think they'd be kind of on par with Antonio's, the first one, but still don't hold up to, I think, the seafood. Maybe we just like the seafood better than beef.
At least you could taste the pasta on the ravioli.
I agree with the group. I agree with Mr. Johnson.
Dr. Samuel Johnson's right about Olson Johnson's being right.
Okay, so I really liked the raviolis themselves. They're really good. The place is a little weird. It's really strong smelling. It smells like potpourri. And overall, that just makes me nervous because I'm always like, what are you trying to cover up? But for the most part, it's been okay. It's definitely fancier than some of the other places we've gone. It's got white tablecloths and such, so if you're gonna come here, prepare to be a little bit more fancy.
A little bit more consistency to the meat paste of it. Definitely good.
Well, these are different.
I like it.
Really?
Good.
I mean, they're not. They're still toasted ravioli, but they're well and toasted. I don't know, there's some different seasoning in the meat, I think is what it is. It's good. This wasn't actually on their menu when we showed up. They said they could still make it and would be happy to do so. And I probably like it in the top, well, what are we at? This is number 5, so I like it in the top 5. No, it's probably number 2, maybe number 3, as far as the meat-filled ones go, but I still think that that seafood one takes the cake. So we're here at Charlie's. However, dressed as we are, everybody walking in and out of here has had dresses and suit coats on. I'm guessing they're not going to just let us in to order a single appetizer and then tell us goodbye. So why don't we move on to something a little more Colorado-ish.
Hey, who you talking to? Just know I ain't no regular fool. Could be anything in the world, but I can never be you because I stand tall like I'm on my tiptoes. Baby, you think I'm a little too small. I got big goals, baby. Ain't where the money at. Look, I just need the info. Pronto, I go and get it and split it with my kinfolk daily. And I'm the type of that might change my number on you. Yeah, that's how you react when people took a slumber on you. Pretty brown skin, baby. I can see the summer on you. You see all the bread and I know it make you wonder, don't you? Ooh, I ain't surprised at all. Seen them rise and fall. Went up the mountain, it wasn't hard to climb at all. At the top, I found some relief. I finally got some peace. Carry on, but please don't mess up the mood. Yeah, I worked too hard for it. No, I need to beat it, before you mess up the mood. Yeah, ooh, I worked too hard for it, and I need it, so please don't mess up the mood. Don't mess up the mood. Don't mess up the mood. Yeah, I worked too hard for it. Yeah.
Should we address the monkey in the room? Yep.
I think it's elephant in the room. But
Being the room that we're in.
Very true.
we're not in St. Louis anymore.
Yep.
This looks nothing like St. Louis.
No, it's much greener. A lot wetter too, unfortunately,
Right now.
because it's been raining.
But it gets it all nice and pretty outside.
We have Italian food in order to talk about our Italian expeditions.
It's not toasted ravioli, but it's spaghetti, so it's and sausage. Except for you get no sausage.
There's been some time from the toasted raviolis to now, so that we can have distance to be able to accurately tell you which one's good and which one's not. Luckily, to jog our memories, I was writing down key notes about each of the toasted raviolis so that we would be able to remember, what ones were good and which ones deserved barf factor.
Since after 2 weeks, we probably don't remember the trip, let alone what we ate. All I remember is we ate so many toasted raviolis that I'm still sick from them.
Talk about our top 3 toasted raviolis.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about our top 3 restaurants. I'll go first. My number 1 favorite toasted ravioli was definitely Zaya's, the seafood one.
The seafood one.
I loved it. It was so good. It's totally different. The second favorite was definitely, without trying to let the staff was really nice, affect it. I'm gonna say Anthonio's. And the third favorite, I think the rest just tie.
Okay.
Maybe Mama's on the Hill was a little bit better, but for the most part, the
Anywhere
rest
else
of them,
was just
yep.
anywhere else.
They all pretty much tasted the same, except for Mama whatever
Toscanos.
Toscanos. That definitely falls below average on my scale. So.
That definitely wins barf factor for me too. Mama Toscano's. Unfortunately, it just wasn't
Good?
wasn't anything I would eat even if it was free.
That's fair.
The seafood, the Zaya wins for me.
That was delicious.
For number one.
So you would say it's first off the seafood ones,
Definitely.
maybe the hotel ones, and then
The restaurant just died.
the rest
Yeah,
of the
just a tie.
For me, it had to be the restaurant in the hotel, Bartolinos. I liked the big ones with the sauce. I mean, I just thought that was delicious. It was probably more that I didn't know what to expect yet, so I really wasn't comparing the traditional ones. But I found that one delicious. I thought that was absolutely wonderful. The seafood ones were very good as well. I would probably put the seafood ones third for me.
Really?
And the main reason they were delicious and they were very good, but they didn't fall into the traditional toasted ravioli. So I think that what was the first place?
Antonio's.
Antonio's was probably my first choice, just based on they were probably the most authentic, that cheesy flavor. I would eat those again from my memory before I'd eat some of the other ones that were there.
That's totally fair.
And then the rest of them, yeah, I mean, I doubt I would really go out of my way to order them anyplace else.
The seafood wins for me, just out of sheer uniqueness and out of flavor. Just the way that it tasted was just far superior in my mind. And that's not to harp on any of the other meat-filled ones. It just wasn't as, I don't know, the flavors didn't feel like they meshed well enough. Because majority of like the meat-filled ones were meat with cheese, and it was a paste. Just something about that just didn't work for me.
Meat paste doesn't sound the best.
So for me, it went the seafood Zaya, and then it went the hotel one, Bartolinos, and then after that, probably Anthoninos.
Now, as far as the restaurants went,
Where would you go back to eat?
well, I'll jump on that one. I would definitely probably eat at the hotel again. Bartolinos, that was very good.
was
I thought
delicious.
the service was. I think a lot of times you get a really good waiter. They're friendly, they're funny, and they just provide good service, and that really makes it no matter what the food was. But we had dinner there that night, and I thought the food was very good too. Antonio's, the second place or the first place that we went to, I thought the service was very good there, and we didn't get a lot of chance to try their other foods, but looking at the menu, it looked extremely good too. As far as the last place goes, it would probably be the place that smelled a little odd when you first walked in, just because looking at their menu, I remember I wrote down notes that were just like, the specials sounded unbelievable. And the menu items looked unbelievable. And I would imagine their food is amazing. And their toasted raviolis, which weren't even on the menu. Remember, they said they'd make them for us, but they weren't on the menu?
Yeah.
They said they don't make them anymore.
Right, but they were on their menu online. I would imagine that if we had gone in with a full dinner, we would have been amazed with the place. And they probably would have been nice and friendly to us because we didn't spend $6. $10. Yeah,
That's
$10.
true.
Yeah, as far as restaurants go, ironically, I think I'd go back to Zaya's first, just because that felt like the most authentic in the most hole-in-the-wall way for me. Just because that was the one where you had a back room with carpet, old carpet, you had a dining room, and then you had the smoking bar up front. And just something about that, and something about looking at the food around, something about it was just like, oh, I bet this place has amazing Italian food. Because it felt genuine. It didn't feel like we're pretending to be Italian. It felt, yeah, we're Italian. We're going to seat you in the back because you don't have a suit coat on. You know what I mean? So
They definitely seated us where we belonged. Come, no, not here. There's people that look nice here. Keep coming.
he has a
No,
top hat
this-
on and a monocle. You guys go.
This is people that dress kind of nice. You're in the back.
You're in the back with the kids and the hot dogs.
That was
But
true.
Zaya's was probably my number one. I think if I were to go back for anything other than strictly food related, I'd go back to Mama's on the Hill. Just because the ambiance was nice, that total date night vibes. That's definitely my number two.
That's fair.
And then the rest are all pretty much equal. No, and then it's Antonio's, and then the rest are equal.
Yeah, and I'd probably take Mama's on the Hill before Antonio's in retrospect. Those would definitely be kind of tied, but Mama's on the Hill did have that really cool, atmosphere and so forth.
Okay, so my my favorite restaurant by far was Mama on the Hill. I just loved it there. It was so cute. Everybody was really friendly, and the food was pretty good. I mean, we only got that antipasto and the toasted raviolis, but I mean, it really impressed me. So,
They had the meatball. If you could eat the meatball in 20 minutes, you got it for free.
that
that's
giant
right.
meatball.
Like a basketball. I don't know how big it was. But
I don't know. It was like 5 pounds or something. I mean, it was huge. I was like, I'd be really worried you're gonna get to the center of the meatball and it's just gonna be not. Yeah.
you still have to eat it if you want it for free.
That's the challenge.
Die of dysentery.
I hope not. That place was just really cute, and it was super packed. So I'm gonna assume that the rest of their food was pretty good. I think my second favorite restaurant was Anthonio's. I really liked it there. I liked the vibes. Also, I thought it was just like newer. Like everywhere else kind of had that like that we've been serving Italian food since the
1600s.
80s. Yeah, like we've been here forever. Anthonio's kind of have that like we've updated our vibes a little bit. So, and then the third place for restaurant would definitely be Tavazza.
That was the last one
one
where we
of the
got
day.
the salad.
Yeah. So, although I didn't really like the staff at the time, but it was really crowded, and we didn't order a lot of food, so I'm not surprised. The place itself was just really cool because it was like that separate bar section, and then the patio outside was really cool, and it was just overall, I think I would eat there again.
And they had a real fire at that one. So out there they had a legitimate fire burning wood, not like a propane inlay, but it was actually one of the staff members' jobs to go and feed the fire and flip the logs and then add more logs and then stack it.
Yeah.
And that was actually really kind of cool because every so often you'd be able to watch him walk over and poke it, walk back. What about you, Clarice? If we can't time it with your chewing, it's not a good video.
I'd go back for the seafood for sure. It had a good flavor, and she was at least willing to tell us about it.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
very friendly. Told us a lot about
So-
it and mentioned things that weren't on the menu when we told her what we wanted.
Then I would say probably Antonio's. They were good. And then between Mama and Hill and maybe the restaurant, wow.
The one in the
The
hotel.
hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you choose
That's
one
fair.
of those two
Yeah.
tie.
Those
You're
tie
right.
for third.
Well, I definitely thought the trip to the hill was brilliant. I mean, it was fun to see the culture and so forth there, but yeah, I mean, that was fun. When you first mentioned that we're going to eat 10 plates of toasted raviolis.
And we didn't even make it to 10. Mind you, we were so sick of it.
Yeah, we made it to 5 and we're like, do we really have to keep going?
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Overall, we really got a good, for a one afternoon, we got a great sampling of what kind of the hill and that whole area is like.
Yeah.
It was
You
nice.
know, enjoyed it. It was worth the trip.
Cool.
Yeah. If we were to recommend this to anybody else, I'd recommend 3. Go to 3 and then you can taste the differences. However, having done 7 of them, there is definitely clear winners and clear losers.
And it really wasn't based on price. I mean, when we came down to it,
Yeah.
the toasted raviolis, a lot of the things that were, I'm sure some of the very fancy, seafood dishes and so forth would be different between different areas.
Right.
But it was pretty much the same price across the board.
Yeah.
I mean, it was $8, $10 for a plate of toasted raviolis every place we went.
Yep.
So if you're going to Missouri, try the toasted raviolis. It's definitely Missouri's food. They were on the menu pretty much everywhere
Yep.
we went. And give it a go. This concludes our review of the toasted raviolis. Don't be like us. Only try 3 plates of toasted raviolis if you want to
Not
do that.
7.
Yep.
And yeah, that was fun.
We'll catch you in the next one, guys.
Definitely.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.